Welcome back to this TENNPOD.
This is another in our series of extremely irregular posts. And
they don't care about the irregularity. All they need to know is we're going straight into the news.
Which is the FX500
Simon has not
released.
feasted his eyes yet, so please feast. What's your review? What color is this?
That's purple.
It's
definitely
like midnight bluey purpley.
Definitely purple with a powder blue, baby blue.
Yep. And then there's some violet accents.
Yeah.
Which I think they could have gone a little harder on personally.
They could have gone way harder. They also could have just not done this blue.
Is there one thing that makes you cringe about this racket? Because there's one thing that makes me cringe off the wall.
I'm not finding anything that's making me cringe. I just don't
Look at
know
the
if I
logos.
like it. The Dunlop and the different fonts.
The ATP logo?
The ATP.
That's cringe.
It's a special edition racket, you know?
It's not a special edition.
Listen, you get
It's
this.
the
You're going to play
official
like an
racket of the
ATP player.
ATP.
It's the ATP sponsors this racket.
Yeah.
Like they've endorsed it.
Yes. It's the official racket of the ATP. That's their thing.
How many ATP players use the FX500?
In its current form, I suspect 0. The closest is like Poprin, who uses the first version of the Tour, which is the same mold that they're using now, I believe. But we both like this racket a lot. We tested the prototype version. This one is to be strung still, and we'll have the Tour in soon. I have asked for it from Dunlop, and they said they will send it. So that's all good.
See, but speaking of rackets that Dunlop has knocked out of the park, though, another racket I have not used personally, I haven't even seen in person. I've only seen photos of it because I never come over to Beckett's anymore. This thing is the best. This is the coolest racket on the market.
It looks so good. It's like a Darth Maul gold with
There's
gold.
literally nothing I would say. Like, there's no improving
if
aspect
it was all
that it needs.
glossy, I'd
like
be a
the
little
gloss?
happier.
Oh, really? I don't mind the matte. I think I don't know. I wish I can't decide if I like the pinstriping all the way around or not. They've got some breaks
It's because
between
it's
the
the
pinstriping.
Dunlop. Do you see the Dunlop color blocking?
Yes. Why do they do that?
It's the flying V. So when you stencil,
You can line it up.
yeah.
So that's
Or
for
the flying
nerds
D,
who
not
actually
flying
do their
V.
own strings like you.
Yeah, but I don't put stencils because
Whereas me,
it's
a
worse.
Chad, makes Beckett do it for me.
Yes. It's my sole purpose in life is to string Simon's rackets so he doesn't blame my string jobs on his forehand sky balls.
No, that's the nice thing about it is I can always blame you no matter what.
Okay,
and then I move on.
What
to
else
blaming
we
the
have
racket.
on the news?
Well, Medi finally won a tournament. This is old news by now because the nature of the ATP is there's 6 other tournaments on this week. But goddamn,
Medi won.
let's go. He did lose today, though.
We're big fans of did he lose to
He
Mutet
lost to
again?
Mutet,
Who he beat.
who he beat in the final.
Can't
Whatever.
blame a guy for losing to Mutet.
But this is huge. It's been a long time. Like, do you know how long it's been since he won his last
Something
tournament?
like
It's been-
800 days?
Yeah, it's been over 2 years, 3
Yeah.
years. Jesus, like,
And he's got to go down to a 250 in the indoor season when everyone is injured
Yeah.
to win, which kind of hurts. But I want Medi to be at the top of his game, and he just can't.
after he won, I thought maybe he makes it to Turin, but after his loss to Mutet today, I think it's pretty much impossible. He's still struggling.
How much do you even care about Turin?
I watch it. I really like it. I think that is one of the bigger tournaments for me. If I was going to structure the ATP season, I would make the playoff for world number 1 at the end of the year a much bigger deal.
Oh, 100% agree.
So to me, this is the unofficial version of that. There are some problems. Like you said, everybody's injured. Everybody's tired, including the fans, including me. I'm tennis fatigued. I need time
I
to
don't know
miss
what's
tennis.
going on
No,
in
there's-
any of the tournaments since Wimbledon.
No, the week Medi won, we had 2 other champions, right? We had Who was it?
Two other guys who we think they should probably be at the top of the game and kind of in the winner's circle more often. Felix Auger-Aliassime and Casper Ruud, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so. We'll have to check that. But regardless, having 3 different champions occur at the same time, and they're all pretty good players, just tells you that these tournaments are not... They're not it.
They're not uniting people around the game of tennis.
No, they're creating extra tournaments so these guys can win titles, not making a tournament so that fans want to watch, in my opinion.
Okay, speaking of news, actually, this is hot off the press. The ATP has announced their 10th Masters 1000 in the calendar year. Did you hear about this?
No.
Do you know where it's going to be?
No.
You know.
I do.
Saudi.
Oh, of course. That makes sense.
How can they add a 10th Masters when these guys can't even play every Masters throughout the calendar year, especially after they've turned half of them into slam-length events, being 2-week Masters, with finals in the middle of the work week so no one can even watch them?
I assume they're not removing like a 250 or a 500 or something like that. You know,
I don't know. It's not gonna start officially until 2028. I imagine the players are going to prioritize it because I imagine it will be the highest paying single event on the calendar.
It's going to take Saudi slaves 3 years to build a tennis facility, to build a tournament. That's crazy.
I think it's going to take the ATP 3 years to convince people to watch things in Saudi.
I think Saudi's won. Saudi has...
Well, they film their current tournament on a GoPro.
Half of the UFC events. The UFC event this week is in Saudi. It's going to have a huge viewership base.
It's a total
Boxing has a huge viewership base. Saudi is going to take over eventually because they've got disposable money like no one's business because 100 people rule the entire world over there, and we need their oil.
I would go.
I probably wouldn't. I'd go to Dubai, maybe, you know?
All right. Any other pieces of news?
Yeah, let's check our system. Oh, Saudi, that's it. Okay. Let's talk about our tennis games.
All
the
right.
current state of where we're at.
This segment of the podcast is sponsored by Tango Tennis because your shirts have arrived.
Ooh.
So check that one out. I think that is one of the coolest Tango designs after the dinosaur one that I'm wearing.
Both my sisters complimented my dinosaur shirt specifically.
For the first time in his life.
They're my barons of style. I like this a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. And then he's putting out he's redoing his sports shirts. So there's been a significant improvement in quality.
A huge change.
Huge change. No more with the kind of like bib cut. But open it.
Okay. I will say I'm one of the only people, I think, I'm not one of the only people, but I actually like their other sports shirts, personally. Allie didn't, and you didn't, really, the design. But I thought it captured sweat pretty well. Wow, these things are crazy. Look at that back. That's all ventilation.
Yes, Allie is going to get a sneak peek of that big back bursting through. The mesh is super light. Like, it feels way lighter.
Totally, but it still feels soft.
And then the other one is purple and gray.
Damn. This is going to be... I'm very interested. I'm one of the best testers for sports equipment because I sweat a tremendous amount.
Thankfully, Trey is also pretty swine-like.
That is true. That is true. But he eats better than me, so his sweat's cleaner. Crazy.
Yeah, I think they're like super nice. They're super light feeling. Quality seems good. They don't feel like a lot of the other polyester shirts that I get are quite stretchy, so they look like they're gonna get quite saggy after.
Have you ever seen a two-tone but hard front to back shirt before?
I have. Oh. I have like a Nike one that's similar.
You're a show off.
So yeah. But thank you very much, Tango Tennis. and the state of our tennis games. So, as you may know, going back a couple of pods, Simon played a tournament, and it went horribly. He didn't warm up properly for his match, hit his forehand over the fence about 20,000 times, and ever since then, his forehand has been in shambles. However, recently, you've made a few tweaks which have improved things. What are those tweaks?
Mainly, and somebody mentioned this in our comments, I'm just going to bring this up, but Beckett has been telling me he suspected my grip was shifting. Give me the racket. Give me the racket. He suspected my grip was shifting. So I hold the racket, and I don't remember the names for all these things, but I hold the racket pretty neutral in my hand.
Like in his ready position, he's almost got like an Eastern grip.
Yeah, almost. But then as I was hitting, I was sliding it with my left hand almost like insanely, extremely
like
Western.
A full Western, and not even like this.
But like, and then the distance control is just terrible. I mean, my strokes mechanics are still a mess. I'm improving that as well, but they're
not a total mess.
I changed to force myself to think about not changing my grip and just keeping it a little bit less extreme, because I always couldn't figure out why I was having trouble flattening the ball when I was hitting it pretty flat. But it's because I was literally swinging it flat with the racket almost horizontal or parallel to the ground. So now I've just done that. It has done immediate noticeable improvements. The only problem is I still don't trust myself. I've still got like the yips where in point play, I just don't
He's like
fully
a real
trust
two
myself.
forehand max.
Yes.
Like you hit two forehands in a rally, they're okay. But if the second one isn't 100% better than the first one, the third one is a horrifying unforced error.
And it's either I swing wildly between, not swinging through at it and swinging way too aggressive at it. And I'm just struggling to find that middle ground. But overall, I think you'd agree. My game is in a much better state than it was when Winners Only came.
Way better.
It's probably in the best place it's been since I played my tournament. I still don't think I'm anywhere near where I was playing immediately before the tournament play as far as consistency goes.
No, especially like at early summer, Simon was in this like real honey spot where he could really deal with short balls effectively. He could kind of only hit them to one spot, inside out to the backhand. But against almost everyone, that's where you want to hit it. And you got so much power, and you were so consistent with getting it to exit the court through the sideline rather than the baseline. So even if you know it's coming, it's really tough to deal with. And that shot has been slowly working its way back. And now with the grip change and a few other things, on the right day, Simon doesn't just have that one spot of the court he can hit. It's both ways.
I can consistently miss to both wings now.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say.
And inconsistently hit both wings perfectly.
Yeah, but let's talk about your game, because I've noticed every time I hit with you now, you're very seriously considering some new racket. Yes. And then very occasionally going back to the Rafa and just clearly playing better than me.
So I went for like 4 to 6 weeks. I didn't use my Rafas. I wasn't like excited to use them. I wasn't excited to string them. I've kind of was like doing minor tweaks with all three rackets, so they're all at slightly different specs. And I was just like, what am I going to do now? So then I hit the Blackout. I had a couple of amazing days with the Slinko Blackout with low swing weight, like 315 swing weight, but I was hitting too flat. Had some amazing days with the prototype FX500, which every time I use that racket, I still think I play well. I had a 2-week affair with the Speed MP, which I've just given up on. The T-Fight was a big contender for me as well, but ultimately I think there's some comfort issues with that racket, and then I would really, to be happy with that racket long term, I'd have to get like a 3D printed grip, because I don't like this rectangular shape. And so that's kind of the arc that I was moving towards. And then Tuesday, I had cut a bunch of strings. Pretty much the only thing I had playable was my Rafa with 6-week-old strings. Brought that thing out, Adjustment period is a while, and that's another reason why I'm a little bit skeptical with the Rafa, and Luca has made this comment to me before as well. It's like the Rafa is such a different racket than everything else on the market. It can make it tricky to evaluate other rackets because just nothing swings the same and nothing produces the same kind of ball. But the ball it does produce is one that is tremendously heavy. It gives me huge options from all areas of the court, and so it's a racket that I can really use to make Simon mad, and that's important.
It is true. And the Rafa, you see on our channel all the time, you see online, people question how important a racket really is to your game. I am not that extreme, but I do think that overall there are genres of racket, and within those there are differences, but there's lots of different similarities between rackets, and overall your skills can depend. But the Rafa really is in a class of its own.
It's weird.
It's a weird thing, and I definitely noticed that. If you don't believe rackets make a difference, for sure give the Rafa a try if you have access to it, because it's a pretty crazy racket. And it's hard to use. Like for me,
and it's one that I think belongs in a collection. Like if you're a racket enthusiast, you want to have a few really unique playing experiences. To me, the Rafa is the arrow to get.
I concur.
Another thing I've been working on with my game, and I think it showed up already pretty quickly, is this week I really wanted to get more hip turn on my serve.
Yes.
Did you feel that
No.
when I was serving at you?
No. I thought your serve was almost the same as it's always been, although you only double faulted twice in our entire set, which is unusual. I feel like you've double faulted a lot.
I go through
the past
usually toss in a game of 4 double faults.
Yeah, whereas my serve is in complete shambles. My shoulder, there's something going on under the shoulder right here that I injured it at some point, and now it doesn't even feel injured. It just gets insanely tired. So I think maybe in the healing process it's gotten really weak. But I was serving very, very easy in our set that we played. And even then, by the third service game, my arm was exhausted and my serve speed just went down tremendously, and you started standing 2 feet inside the baseline, which I've never experienced in my life. My serve has always been
so annoying,
very hard. And so everyone stands back, even half decent players. I've never played anyone that's really, really good return my serve, but everyone stands back. And to see you standing inside the baseline was truly one of the most disheartening experiences of my life.
Okay, so my thought about your serve, because I told you I had some thoughts, especially recently, going back to some of your older serves, it's not always like this, but your serve in the last set we played was almost all shoulder. You jump through the court and everything, but there's very little hip engagement. There's very little leg drive, and then you take it back in your hand and arm is quite high, so you don't get the full kind of range of motion on your arm. And I think if we can get a little shoulder tilt, have that elbow kind of back here.
I agree. Partially that's on purpose right now, because I find that
hurts it more.
But I think in some respects, trying to protect it is probably doing more harm than good. So we can try and...
We need to make you do your rubber bands again.
I know. My Allie is coming home tonight now, so she's bringing home the rubber bands. We can start strengthening it up. I think it's just a maintenance issue. Mm-hmm. I moved farther away from the gym and therefore stopped going, so my strength is not what it used to be. It's
been a noticeable decline in his physicality on court, in my opinion.
So, yeah, work in progress. The serve being gone is just horrible news for me, especially with the state of my ground strokes. My backhand's pretty solid.
Your backhand is better than ever.
Yeah.
Ali did a lesson with Simon and introduced him to the moonball backhand.
And it's been working wonders.
Yeah, it's great.
Because my depth control with that moonball's pretty good. I look like an open-level women's player against Ali.
You can pass off your backhand it's butter or something. It's easy.
It's so much more natural to me being a mostly lefty, two-handed sports person. It's I can figure out the distance on the backhand so easy, whereas the forehand is like playing the wrong way for me almost. And
you golf lefty also.
Golf lefty, hockey lefty, baseball lefty, anything with two hands, I'm lefty in. So it's pretty annoying.
Makes sense why the two-hander would be a little more natural.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. What else we got on the docket?
Where did you? Oh well, let's talk pros.
Let's talk pros.
We're
We're going back to talking pros after talking about the news. And I think if there's one lesson that we've learned in the calendar season this year, it's that 2-week Masters are the dumbest thing ever.
I don't have anything to add to that.
Players hate them.
Mm-hmm.
They're like universally hated. It makes the scheduling weird. Like in my opinion, men's singles final is on Sunday. The only exception is if it rains on Sunday.
My question is, why is a 2-week tournament where you would get a day off more tiring than a 1-week tournament where you just blitz through it and then move on to the next?
So I think in the past, they would play the tournament and then have rest between. And so you know how it is, like if you're working your day job at the office, the 2-week weekend is not a super restful. You don't really feel rested until you've had like a solid couple of days off to really like let your mind and body recover. And I think that lack of, 1, 2, 3, and in the past we would have like almost a full month off between Wimbledon and the Rogers Cup back when it was called that. That gave players a lot of time to recover their injuries, to rehab them properly. I think people are going, okay, I kind of got through this injury. It's not quite rehabbed. It's not re-strengthened yet, but it's not hurt anymore. I got to go play the next tournament, because a lot of these tournaments are mandatory tournaments by the ATP. They're pretty hard to just like get out of. And then on top of that, you have all the financial incentives to show up.
Yeah, and you just look at who showed up for the Rogers tournament, to use that example, when there was that break between Wimbledon and Rogers. You used to have the big names go there all the time. And now, both Sinner, Alcaraz didn't show up, Djokovic didn't show up this year.
Djokovic's not showing up to hardly anything unless, like, it's a Shanghai-level paycheck.
Dubai-level paycheck.
Yeah.
3 kings. But it's just insane. I mean, it all goes back to the issue that there's too many tournaments, and none of them feel special because of it. Like, a Masters 1000 doesn't feel special because it's blended in to 9 other tournaments that are front and back loading it. And you just can't figure out why you should care about any one tournament when it feels like there's just one big tournament, and it just happens all year at different locations.
It's like all these guys are constantly having like highest highs followed by the lowest lows, and you can never really get behind a player other than the top 2 players, because you never know when your favorite player is going to go out the first round, and then you stop caring.
Yeah, and it's just like, why do you care? Because at the end of the day, they're playing next week. Sometimes losing early in a tournament might just be the right thing for them to do,
but
so
then
that they
half
can
the
rest.
time they'll lose early in the tournament in a 1000 or whatever, and then they'll go, oh, there's a challenger like 2 hours away. I'll take a wild card into there because I lost my match. And because it's a 2-week-long tournament, they have to wait 2 weeks before their next regularly scheduled tournament is. So then they'll play whatever, this challenger, and then they're not really fresh for the major tournament, which, okay, that's a scheduling error by the player. Obviously, it's not all on the ATP and the people who plan the larger schemes, but it doesn't give players a lot of like clearly cut good choices.
No, the ATP needs to cut down on the number of tournaments. I understand lots of these tournaments are special to people, but and the organizers, they're not going to want to let them go, I'm sure, because there must be a financial incentive, even though when you look at them, there's nobody in the crowds most of the time.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching it on TV. The ATP needs to condense their schedule. They need to make it clear why each tournament that is on is important, and they need to make sure that only one tournament is going on at any one time so that we can consistently see
who's
the
best in
competition we
world.
want to see.
Yeah, we want to see the best players in the world compete at their highest level, and quite frankly, even when you get to the slam final, it's not always clear that people are able to compete at the highest level.
No, because they're injured from tournaments that don't matter, constantly weighing them down, wearing them down, and making it so that they're not playing at their best. You want a good product, you want a clear product, and you want a clear answer to the question, why are we watching right now?
Why are we watching right now? But there also needs to be some level of long-term vision. Sure, maybe having these 2-week masters is more lucrative for the tournaments because they bring people in for a longer time. But at the end of the day, I think it's severely diluting the larger tournament experience especially for more casual fans who tennis needs to attract.
100%. And I think we've said all we need to say about that.
Yeah, if you have any questions for next time, will there be a next time? I think there will be. But if you have any questions, we'd love to answer them. Were there any questions on the last one we got to answer?
You posted something somewhere, and
That's
I can't
from my
find
live
it.
stream today.
Oh. Well, how do you find...
Luca decided he's going to come over for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Questions. How would you decide between the Gravity Pro and the
No,
EZone?
that's for the live stream.
Yeah, I know, but okay. Well,
No, I'm saving.
you're
that for the
saving those
live
for the
stream,
live
'cause
stream?
that's today,
Okay.
and this could be years from now. We got to.
There were a few questions based for the pod, weren't there? Or just one?
You got to go to the other channel to see the pod video comments. I got them. All right. There was one comment that said DFA. Oh no. Here we go. That's where the person talked about your forehand grip, was in that one. DFA.
X Gym Class says, as one of the 10 listeners of the pod, he truly enjoys it. Thank you. Shout out to X Gym Class.
All right. James Jerfy says, keep doing these. They help separate the wheat from the chaff. Also, I struggle with sleep, and you guys rambling is causing me Kyle-like nodding off symptoms. More collabs in general. Maybe a guest rapper. Also, more grommet content. Oh my god, the grommet content is insane. Like just a few hours on grommets. Yeah, okay. There were no real questions.
There's no real questions. But shout out to X Gym Class. Thank you.